Well, Duncan Craig is a counsellor and psychotherapist. He was a victim of child abuse and now runs Survivors Manchester. Duncan, good morning.
Morning, Tony.
It's difficult to know where to start with this, isn't it? Because, as Mike was saying at the start there, these statistics are absolutely shocking. And the author of this report actually says the figure of 1,400 children is, and I quote, a conservative estimate. How would these children have felt going through this, feeling that they were just being completely ignored by the authorities?
I mean, to begin with, when a child is abused, so in my experience, there was, for much of the time, I wasn't really too sure that what was going on was right or wrong. And that's a lot to do with the way that the abusers will manipulate the individual to make them, I suppose in a way, to kind of get what the abuser needs. So when you find the courage and when you find the drive to speak out and then are not believed, the only option you have is silence. And that, in my book, is absolutely disgusting.
One of the most poignant things I read in the report, one of the quotes from one of the victims just saying gang rape in Rotherham was part of growing up. How can the town recover from this? Because you would, in 1,400 children, conservative estimate, you extrapolate that out to parents, to relatives, to people who know them. How does that town begin to rebuild trust in the authorities, trust in each other?
With absolute clarity. Everybody has to be clear with this now. People have to start talking. And when I say people, I mean the authorities. So anyone that was knowingly complicit with the silence that surrounds this case must be held to account. People have to start understanding that the only way that we get through the silence is by talking, by speaking out loud, by being honest. And like a hot knife through butter, it will just get rid of all of that silence and shame.
The Daily Mail's headline this morning, betrayed by the PC cowards, they put it, political correct cowards. It's strong words, but it has appeared in this report that staff feared being called racist if they focused on the victims' descriptions, that the majority of their abusers were Asian men. Can you understand such a mindset within social services, within the authorities?
I find it really difficult.
And is it forgivable?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not forgivable. I find it difficult to comprehend that if somebody knowingly knows that a child is being abused, that they will turn a blind eye. I mean, I find that regardless of whether they're going to be called racist or sexist or whatever, I just find it really, really difficult to believe that people can just do that. I mean, I know that it happens all the time, but I find it really difficult, and I can't ever imagine being in a position where I know that these horrific things are happening to children and young people and vulnerable adults and turning a blind eye.
Duncan, listen, thank you very much for coming in. It's a difficult subject. Thanks for the insight. Later on, just after 8 o'clock, we'll speak to the former Children's Minister, Tim Lawton, on this subject. It's 7:16.